Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Manoj Singh Rana with the Midday News. The headlines. First, All India Chief Secretaries Conclave presided by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to conclude at Dharamshala this evening. Prime Minister to reach Gujarat on a two-day visit this evening to inaugurate and lay foundation stones of development projects worth 21,000 crore rupees. Prime Minister to dedicate to the nation main tunnel and 5 underpasses of Pragati Maidan Integrated Transit Corridor project on Sunday. Defence Minister and Home Minister welcomed the decision to extend upper age limit for Agnipath scheme from 21 years to 23 years. Recruitment schedule to be announced shortly. India has emerged as a credible and strong voice for the developing and least developed countries at WTO Ministerial Conference, says Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal. 14th Brics Summit to be held in Beijing on 23rd June. No respite from the flood fury in Assam as surging water inundates new areas. Rescue operations are in full swing. In the Indonesian Open Badminton Tournament, HS Pranoy to take on Rasmus Gemke in the quarter-final match this evening. And in cricket, India to take on South Africa in 4th 2020 international match at Rajkot this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is presiding over the ongoing National Conference of Chief Secretaries at Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh for the second consecutive day today. The first of its kind 3-day National Conference of Chief Secretaries had begun on Wednesday and it will culminate today after having in-depth deliberations on various significant issues pertaining to effective governance. Prime Minister Narendra Modi stressed that India's best young officers should be posted at aspirational districts to bring about noticeable changes through their creative thinking and fresh ideas. The first of its kind conference is being held as an exercise towards strengthening the partnership between the centre and the states to build a shared vision for Amrit Kal. Lauding the success of the Aspirational Districts program, the Prime Minister said the government should strive to make these the inspirational districts of India and extend the program to the block and city levels. He said the experience gained by people while working in these districts would be unparalleled and prove useful for the entire country.
Speaking on education, the Prime Minister said that teachers' training can be strengthened by leveraging digital technology and learning mobile apps. He said award-winning retired school teachers may also be roped in for training teachers. Prime Minister also suggested organizing competitions among young entrepreneurs, startups and youth across states for preparation of quality content in various media in regional language, with best content creators being awarded. Discussions were held on crop diversification and achieving self-sufficiency in oilseeds, pulses and other agri-commodities and implementation of National Education Policy school education. There were sessions on Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Road to 2047 and the Aspirational Districts program. Several strategies for Atmanirbhar Krishi and for a digital mission in agriculture were also discussed. All the states and union territories actively participated, flagged concerns, highlighted best practices and suggested possible solutions in every session. With Sanjeev Sunrial's report from Dharamshala, Tripti Srivastav, AIR News.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will reach Ahmedabad this evening for a two-day visit to Gujarat. Tomorrow, he will inaugurate the redeveloped temple of Sri Kalika Mata at Pavagadh Hill. It is one of the oldest temples in the region and attracts pilgrims in large numbers. Mr. Modi will also inaugurate and lay the foundation stones of development projects worth 21,000 crore rupees. Mr. Modi will participate in Gujarat Gaurav Abhiyan program to be held at Vadodara.
During his two-day visit to Gujarat, the Prime Minister will dedicate and lay the foundation stone of various projects worth over 21,000 crore rupees. These include dedication of the railway projects to the nation of New Palanpur-Madar section of dedicated freight corridor, gauge conversion of Ahmedabad-Bota section, and electrification of Palanpur Mitha section. He will also lay the foundation stone of redevelopment of Surat, Udna, Somnath and Sabarmati stations along with foundation stone of other initiatives in the railway sector. These projects will help lower logistic cost and boost industries and agriculture sector in the region. Mr. Modi will also lay the foundation stone of Gujarat Central University in Kundela village of Dabhoi Taluka near Vadodara. He will also launch Mukhya Mantri Matru Shakti Yojana, which will have an outlay of 800 crore rupees. Yogesh Pandya, Air News, Ahmedabad.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to the nation the main tunnel and 5 underpasses of Pragati Maidan Integrated Transit Corridor project at 10:30 a.m. on the 19th of this month. He will also address the gathering on the occasion. The Integrated Transit Corridor project is an integral part of Pragati Maidan redevelopment project. The project has been built at a cost of more than 920 crore rupees. It is aimed to provide hassle-free and smooth access to the new world-class exhibition and convention centre being developed at Pragati Maidan. This project will ensure hassle-free vehicular movement, thereby saving time and money of commuters. It is part of the overarching vision of the central government to ensure ease of living for people through transforming urban infrastructure. The main tunnel connects Ring Road with India Gate through Purana Kila Road, passing through Pragati Maidan. It is equipped with the latest global standard facilities for smooth movement of traffic such as smart fire management, modern ventilation and automated drainage, digitally controlled CCTV and public announcement system inside the tunnel.
The central government has extended the upper age limit for the Agnipath recruitment scheme from 21 years to 23 years. The age waiver will be given only one time for the proposed recruitment cycle for 2022, informed the Defence Ministry yesterday. The decision has been taken as no recruitment had taken place in the last 2 years due to the COVID pandemic. The government has said that the Agniveers will be given priority in the recruitment of the Central Armed Police Forces and the State Police. Dispelling the misconception that the future of Agniveers is insecure, it said for those wishing to be entrepreneurs, they will get a financial package and bank loan scheme. For the Agniveers who wish to study further, 12th class equivalent certificate will be given. Opportunities for the youth to serve in the armed forces will increase through the Agnipath scheme. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that the Agnipath scheme is a golden opportunity for the youth to join the defence forces and serve the country.
पिछले 2 साल से सेना में भर्ती की प्रक्रिया न होने के कारण बहुत से नौजवानों को सेना में भर्ती होने का अवसर नहीं मिला। इसलिए युवाओं के भविष्य को ध्यान में रखते हुए और उनके प्रति संवेदनशीलता दिखाते हुए प्रधानमंत्री जी के अनुमोदन पर सरकार ने फैसला किया है कि अग्निवीरों की भर्ती की आयु सीमा को इस बार बढ़ाकर 21 से 23 वर्ष कर दिया जाए। यह वन टाइम रिलैक्सेशन दिया गया है। इससे बहुत सारे नौजवानों को अग्निवीर बनने की पात्रता स्वतः मिल जाएगी। और मैं यह भी कहना चाहता हूं कि भर्ती प्रक्रिया कुछ ही दिनों में प्रारंभ होने जा रही है। मैं सभी नौजवानों से अपील करता हूं कि सेना में भर्ती होने की वह तैयारी करें और इसका पूरा लाभ उठाएं।
In a series of tweets today, Home Minister Amit Shah said the recruitment process in the army was affected due to the pandemic in last 2 years. In view of this, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken a sensitive decision. He said a large number of youth will be benefited by this decision and they will move forward towards their brighter future by serving the nation. Army Chief General Manoj Pandey in his statement said this decision will provide an opportunity for many of our young, energetic and patriotic youth who despite COVID pandemic were preparing to join the recruitment rallies which could not be completed in the last 2 years due to COVID restrictions. He said the schedule of the recruitment process will be announced shortly. General Pandey called upon the youth to avail this opportunity for joining the Indian Army as Agniveers. The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring a special program, Agniveeron Se Naya Josh, to highlight the key aspects of the scheme as well as reactions from the people aspiring to join the forces. This special program can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.gov.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has termed the World Trade Organization's 12th Ministerial Conference in Geneva as successful, saying that India has received 100% success. Addressing the media in Geneva after the conclusion of the ministerial conference, the minister said India has emerged as a credible and strong voice for the developing and least developed countries.
भारत ने जो बातें रखी वहाँ जो हमें माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने मार्गदर्शन दिया था कि इन चीजों पे आपको WTO में फोकस करना है, अब पूरा विश्व एक्नॉलेज कर रहा है कि वही वास्तव में सही एजेंडा था और अल्टीमेटली सब सॉल्यूशंस निकालने में भारत की अहम भूमिका रही.
Mr. Goyal said this will be the first ministerial conference when India sets the agenda. He said India put forth its position very boldly and became the voice of the developing world. He said India has strongly raised its voice to protect the interest of farmers, fishermen and the poor.
मैं समझता हूँ कि अलग-अलग विषयों पे भारत की लीडरशिप स्थापित हुई है इंटरनेशनल फोरम पे. भारत के किसानों का, मछुआरों का, हमारे जो MSME सेक्टर है, छोटे व्यापारी हैं, छोटे उद्यमी हैं, उनका और जो गरीब और वल्नरेबल सेक्शंस हैं, उन सभी की चिंता करते हुए एक बड़ा अच्छा आउटकम्स ओरिएंटेड मिनिस्टेरियल कॉन्फ्रेंस MC12 खत्म हुआ है.
Mr. Goyal said the world is facing multiple challenges and there were questions being raised about multilateral forums. He said this conference has once again strengthened multilateralism. Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari has proposed setting up of an innovation bank for new ideas, research findings and technologies to focus on quality in infrastructure development. Addressing the inaugural function of the 222nd Mid-Term Council meeting of the Indian Roads Congress through virtual mode in New Delhi today, he said innovation should be the focus area for all engineers. He said IRC should develop a world-class, state-of-the-art laboratory with the help of IITs and global institutions across the world to deal with the challenges of infrastructural development. Highlighting the achievements of his ministry in road development, Mr. Gadkari said in the last 8 years, the length of national highways has gone up by more than 50% from 91,000 kilometres in 2014 to about 1,47,000 kilometres now.
Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Bhupendra Yadav, has said India is striving towards achieving the national commitment of land degradation neutrality and restoring 26 million hectares of degraded land by 2030. This focuses on sustainable and optimum utilization of land resources. He said public participation will play a crucial role in achieving this feat as India is building the future roadmap for combating desertification. Addressing the Desertification and Drought Day 2022 being organized by the Environment, Forest and Climate Change Ministry in New Delhi today, the minister highlighted that India has been at the forefront of bringing the issue of land degradation to the core of relevant international alliances for protection and conservation of environment. The theme of this year's Desertification and Drought Day is Rising Up from Drought Together.
A total of 12,847 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in the country during the last 24 hours. The Union Health Ministry said 7,985 people recovered during the same period. The recovery rate is currently at 98.64%. The ministry said more than 195 crore 84 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. During the last 24 hours, more than 15 lakh 27,000 doses were administered.
You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. First, All India Chief Secretaries Conclave presided by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to conclude at Dharamshala this evening. Prime Minister to reach Ahmedabad on a 2-day visit to Gujarat this evening to inaugurate and lay foundation stones of development projects worth 21,000 crore rupees. Prime Minister to dedicate to the nation main tunnel and 5 underpasses of Pragati Maidan Integrated Transit Corridor project on Sunday. Defence Minister and Home Minister welcomed the decision to extend upper age limit for Agnipath scheme from 21 years to 23 years. Recruitment schedule to be announced shortly. India has emerged as a credible and strong voice for the developing and least developed countries at WTO Ministerial Conference, says Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal. 14th Brics Summit to be held in Beijing on the 23rd of June. No respite from the flood fury in Assam as surging water inundates new areas. Rescue operations are in full swing. In the Indonesian Open Badminton Tournament, HS Pranoy to take on Rasmus Gemke in the quarter-final match this evening. And in cricket, India to take on South Africa in 4th 2020 international match at Rajkot this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Welcome back to the Midday News. Chinese President Xi Jinping will host the 14th Brics Summit in Beijing on the 23rd of June. The summit will be held in virtual format under the theme of Foster High-Quality Brics Partnership, usher in a new era for global development. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Chunying announced this today. The announcement posted on the Chinese Foreign Ministry website said President Xi Jinping will attend the opening ceremony of the BRICS Business Forum in virtual format on the 22nd of June and deliver a keynote speech. China is the chair of the 14th BRICS Summit happening this year, which assumes importance as this will be the first BRICS Summit after the Russia-Ukraine war began, and Russia is currently under severe economic sanctions by the West, led by the US. President Xi Jinping will also host the high-level dialogue on global development in Beijing on the 24th of June. The dialogue will be held in virtual format under the theme of Foster a Global Development Partnership for the New Era to jointly implement the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. BRICS leaders and leaders of relevant emerging markets and developing countries will attend the event. Government sources in New Delhi have termed China's decision to put on hold the India-US proposal to list Abdul Rahman Makki under the United Nations Security Council sanctions as unfortunate. Sources said this decision by China is extremely unfortunate given the overwhelming evidence against Makki. The sources said China should reflect on its response that signals double standards on combating terrorism. Sources also said protecting well-known terrorists from sanctioning in this manner will only undermine its credibility and risk exposing even itself more to the growing threat of terrorism. It runs counter to China's claims of combating terrorism, and this is not the first time that China has placed hurdles for the listing of known terrorists. In the past, it had repeatedly blocked proposals to designate Maulana Masood Azhar, chief of Pakistan-based and UN-proscribed terrorist entity Jaish-e-Mohammed. India and the US jointly proposed to list Pakistan-based terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki under the United Nations Security Council's Al-Qaeda and ISIL Sanctions Committee. Both India and the US have already listed Makki as a terrorist under their domestic laws. Yesterday, China placed a technical hold on the proposal. Makki has been involved in raising funds, recruiting and radicalizing youth to violence and planning attacks in India, particularly in Jammu and Kashmir.
In Assam, there has been no respite from the flood fury in the state as surging water inundated new areas. Bridges, roads, culverts have been damaged at many places due to floods and landslides. 8 persons lost their lives in the state in the past 36 hours. Over 11 lakh people are reeling under the fury of floods in 25 districts, while 68,000 flooded people have been shifted to relief camps. The Army, paramilitary forces, the NDRF, the SDRF, along with local administration are carrying out rescue operations. Several districts have decided to keep educational institutes closed today due to rains, including in Guwahati. In Meghalaya, incessant rainfall continues to wreak havoc, causing flooding and landslides in several parts of the state, leading to loss of lives. In South Garo Hills district, 3 people were reported dead in flash floods in Bagmara and 1 died due to landslides in Siju, while some bridges have been washed away. The NH62 has been disrupted by landslides and flash floods caused waterlogging in different parts of the district. Landslides have been reported in different parts of the district. Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma in a tweet offered his condolences and informed that ex gratia of 4 lakh rupees will be released to the next of kin of the deceased.
The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring the 8th episode of our special series Jammu Kashmir Ek Nayi Subha in the Spotlight section tonight. This episode is titled Aasan Hui Jeevan Ki Raah and will focus on the enhanced ease of living and increasing employment opportunities in J&K. This special program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.gov.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember Odia social reformer Utkal Mani Gopabandhu Das, who died on the 17th of June 1928. Das's crusade against untouchability, advocacy of widow remarriage, campaign for literacy, particularly vocational training, and above all, a deep commitment and compassion for poor and destitutes have immortalized him. Mo bhai bhauni he utkala basi swarajya sadhane nahu udati je dikhyare thare Kari Chabiswasa no chadata thiba jaeti niswasa Swarajya manava janma adhikara Yeha bine desa hue chara khara misu moro deha.
Gopabandhu Das was born on 9th of October 1877 in Suwando village near Puri, Odisha. In 1909, he established Satyabadi High School in Sakhigopal, which was inspired by the Deccan Education Society. The school operated in the Gurukul tradition with an aim to impart a liberal education on a non-sectarian basis.
Das became the first president of Utkal Pradesh Congress Committee in 1920, holding the post until 1928. He welcomed Gandhiji to the province in 1921. Das was arrested in 1922 when he received a 2-year prison sentence. Gopabandhu became All India Vice President of the Lok Sevak Mandal in April 1928. He became ill while attending a society meeting in Lahore and died on the 17th of June 1928. AIR News salutes the great Indian.
We also remember independence activist Mani, a resident of district Amritsar, Punjab, who died on 17th of June 1919. Mani was active in organizing a hartal on 6th of April 1919 at Amritsar as part of the nationwide call of hartal given by Mahatma Gandhi to protest against the Rowlatt Act.
Mani was charged for killing Sergeant Rowland. He was executed on the 17th of June 1919. AIR News salutes the great martyr.
We remember freedom fighter Prabhavati Namdeo, a resident of Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. She took part in the civil disobedience movement in April 1932 and encouraged many other women to join it. She was arrested and imprisoned in the Jabalpur district jail and died in the prison due to tortures on 17th of June 1932. We salute the brave daughter of the country.
Independence activist Mundar, a close associate of Rani Lakshmi Bai, a resident of Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh, Mundar joined the first War of Indian Independence in 1857 and fought against the British under the command of Rani Lakshmi Bai. Mundar took part in driving the British out from Jhansi and its surrounding areas including Koonch, Kalpi and Gwalior. The British, however, struck back and reached Jhansi in 1858. Mundar was killed while fighting against the British in Gwalior and later cremated on the 17th of June 1858 at Gwalior. AIR News salutes the great martyr.
We also remember martyr Atta Muhammad, who took part in the First War of Independence in 1857. He fought the British at several places in the Bombay Presidency.
He was caught by the company troops in the course of an engagement and tried for desertion and mutiny against the British authority. Muhammad was sentenced to transportation for life in 1857. He died in the cellular jail on the 17th of June 1858. AIR News salutes the brave son of the soil.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
In the Indonesian Open Badminton Tournament, India's HS Pranoy will take on Rasmus Gemke of Denmark in the quarter-final match this evening. Yesterday, Pranoy registered a straight-set win against Angus Ng Kalong of Hong Kong and stormed into the quarter-final round. In cricket, India will take on South Africa in the 4th T20 International of the ongoing 5-match series in Rajkot this evening. The match will begin at 7 p.m. A report.
The surface at the Saurashtra Cricket Association Stadium is a batting friendly as the ball comes to the bat nicely. So it is anticipated to assist the batters hugely in both the innings and may lead to a high-scoring match. There is very little help on offer for the pacers early on and the spinners may come lethal in the middle overs. The team batting second has great records on this pitch. They have maintained a winning percentage of 60 on this ground. Therefore, the toss will play a vital role to decide the fate of the match. With Pratyush Ghosh's report, Renu Kataria, AIR News, Delhi.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. National capital Delhi is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature was recorded at 24 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 36 degrees. Mumbai is likely to have generally cloudy sky with intermittent rain. Temperature will hover between 24 and 31 degrees. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature was 28. Maximum will be around 37. Kolkata likely to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will hover between 29 and 34 degrees. Srinagar is expected to have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Temperature will hover between 15 and 28 degrees. Jammu and Muzaffarabad are likely to have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum and maximum temperature in Jammu will be around 21 and 36 degrees. Muzaffarabad, the temperature will vary from 23 to 40 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. First All India Chief Secretaries Conclave presided by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to conclude at Dharamshala this evening. Prime Minister to reach Gujarat on a 2-day visit this evening to inaugurate and lay foundation stones of development projects worth 21,000 crore rupees. Prime Minister to dedicate to the nation main tunnel and 5 underpasses of Pragati Maidan Integrated Transit Corridor project on Sunday. Defence Minister and Home Minister welcome decision to extend upper age limit for Agnipath scheme from 21 to 23 years. Recruitment schedule to be announced shortly. India has emerged as credible and strong voice for developing and least developed countries at WTO Ministerial Conference, says Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal. 14th Brics Summit to be held in Beijing on 23rd June. No respite from flood fury in Assam as surging water inundates new areas. Rescue operations are in full swing. In Indonesian Open Badminton Tournament, HS Prannoy to take on Rasmus Gemke in the quarter-final match this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.